Flores is the name of an island in East Nusa Tenggara province in Indonesia. Komodo National Park lies between Sumbawa and Flores and was founded in 1980. Its main goal was to protect the indigenous Komodo dragon. Komodo National Park is made up of 3 different islands, Rinca, Komodo, and Padar, which all have volcanic origin. This entire area is classified as a global conservation priority, including both terrestrial and marine ecosystems, covering a total of 1,733 kilometers squared in area. Since Komodo National Park is classified as a national park, this falls under the IUCN category of number 2. The climate is typically dry in this area and has known to cause evolutionary adaptation within terrestrial flora. Little is known about the history of the original Komodo Islanders, but today the island is home to an estimated 3,500 people living amongst 4 separate villages: Komodo, Rinca, Kirora, and Papagaran. Little is known about the origins, however, it is known that they were subjects of the Sultan of Bima. Within this village, there are also opportunities for education up to grade 4 for their community, 1 school in every village. Komodo National Park was established in 1980 and was declared a World Heritage Site and a Man and Biosphere Reserve by UNESCO in 1986. The early establishment of the park was mainly to conserve and protect the unique Komodo dragon, which were first discovered in the year 1911. Ever since then, conservation goals have expanded to not only protecting the species, but the island's entire biodiversity, including marine and terrestrial life.
Komodo National Park is subject to a multitude of direct threats, with most pertaining to the surrounding coral reefs and desirable fish species. Unsustainable fishing practices fueled by trade, fish enthusiasts, and self-sustainment motivates fisheries to use cheap and fast strategies to make a living off of the reef. These strategies, including blast fishing, over-harvesting, and cyanide fishing, wreak havoc on the reef. Blast fishing is just as the name suggests, dropping glass bottles full of improvised explosive off the side of the boat and allowing the shockwave to stun and break apart coral so men with scuba gear can collect the fish. It is considered the most destructive anthropogenic threat to coral reefs. Blast fishing damage along the Komodo reefs total 85,000 kilometers squared and 8.5 billion, which highlights the money that can be saved in Management Principle 6, the immediate intervention to save future costs. Cyanide fishing is used to stun fishing in a similar way.
The cyanide that the native fishermen use to collect fish is produced locally. It's actually made from plant fiber, and it is put into spray bottles where it's basically indiscriminately sprayed into coral heads and areas where fish congregate. The fish are essentially stunned, but it causes neurological damage, and it will damage all the fish in the area. Not just the ones that the fishermen are collecting for sale. It also has the side effect of killing all of the coral that it comes into contact with. So you find large coral heads are damaged. Marine fish that aren't attractive for sale are also stunned and will eventually die. Most of the time you will lose 75% of the fish that actually make it from a wholesaler into a hobbyist's tank.
The desire for collectors to obtain exotic species of fish and fishermen to make a profit selling in markets far outweigh the motive or value to sustain the reefs around Komodo National Park. The islands harbor a significant portion of the Coral Triangle, which contains some of the richest biodiversity on Earth.
To address the issue of coral trade, there was a recent attempt to ban the coral export business throughout Indonesia, which supplied the majority of the world with coral. During the ban, many businesses closed down, but as of early October 2018, the ban was lifted with little to no new regulation to protect the reefs. This came as a relief to businesses, but a worry to environmentalists. The degradation caused by the coral trade wipes out vast swaths of coral, leaving no ability for regeneration. Indonesia instituted Management Principle 1, the need for intervention by managers, so that human-caused threatening processes are reduced. Supplementally, utilizing Management Principle 7, community awareness and empowerment programs are being implemented to engage the local villagers regards to the sustainable use of natural resources and park conservation. Threatening processes will be diminished when protected areas are managed as part of a community effort to achieve conservation outcomes at a landscape scale. The managers of Komodo National Park have also ramped up their patrolling units, which cruise around the islands in shifts looking for proper fishing practices. This too pertains to Management Principle 1 and the need for managers to oversee the actions of the masses.